Dear friends, welcome to Fun Harvester series. Today I want to share my favorite films to learn English with movies. Learning English can feel tough at times. The confusing grammatical rules, the baffling regional accents, and the head-spinning cultural rules. One of the ways which you can pick English up is through film, TV, and music. So, here are the reasons why I recommend learning the language by watching English movies with subtitles. This is the most effective way of learning English and proper pronunciation. When you learn English with movies, you are taking a wild adventure. You will get to learn real English, not textbook English. You learn English words in context. You will get a great cultural lesson. You will learn new words and phrases while enjoying these films. So, in the space of one movie, you learn new vocabulary, pronunciation, context, and conversation. When you learn English with movies, you are falling in love with the language while characters fall in love on screen. So, the next question is, what movies should I watch? There is no magic movie that can help us become fluent in English in one sitting. The obvious answer is to watch the movies that you love. So the next question is, should I use subtitles on movies to learn English? Watching movies with subtitles is a very effective method. It will make the experience even more enjoyable. Using English subtitles will also activate your listening and speaking parts of the brain. When you watch the movie for the very first time, you might not be able to get everything the actor or actress says in the movie if you are not acquainted with their accents. So this is where the utilization of subtitles comes in. Not only does the use of subtitles help you in learning the pronunciation of the words, but also it helps you have a clearer picture of how a sentence is formed. The subtitles can also help you figure out the tenses in the sentence if you are not good at grammar. So here is a list of movies which I think are the most effective, entertaining, and also thrilling for helping you learn English with fun and entertainment.
Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is a 1984 American action-adventure film directed by Steven Spielberg, one of the most popular directors and producers in film history. In 1935, Indiana Jones arrives in India and is asked to find a mystical stone. He then stumbles upon a secret Thuggy cult practicing child slavery and human sacrifices in an ancient palace. Nacho Libre is a 2006 sports comedy drama film in which Jack Black plays a Mexican monk who decides to become a wrestling champion, in part to follow his dreams but also to try and help the poor children in the orphanage where he works. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is a 1989 American action-adventure film directed by Steven Spielberg. In the film, Indiana searches for his father, a Holy Grail scholar who has been kidnapped by Nazis. When Indiana Jones discovers that his father has gone missing while seeking out clues leading to the Holy Grail, the archaeologist soon finds himself on an adventure to find the legendary Holy Grail. Blood Diamond is a 2006 political war thriller film co-produced and directed by Edward Zwick and starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Blood diamonds are diamonds mined in war zones and sold to finance conflicts and thereby profit warlords and diamond companies. Blood Diamond is the story of Danny Archer and Solomon Vanti. They join in a common quest to recover a priceless pink diamond that can transform their lives. Pele, Birth of a Legend is an American biographical film about the early life of Brazilian sports hero ever and a true soccer phenomenon, Pele, and his journey with Brazil to win the 1958 FIFA World Cup at the age of 17. Life of Pi is a 2012 adventure drama film and a miraculous achievement of storytelling and a landmark of visual mastery. In this groundbreaking movie, a young man who survives a disaster at sea is dashed into an epic journey of adventure and discovery. While cast away, he forms an unexpected connection with a ferocious Bengal tiger. Apocalypto is a 2006 American epic historical adventure film produced and directed by Mel Gibson. This is a heart-stopping mythical action adventure set against the once great Mayan civilization. The film portrays the frightful return journey of a young man named Jagar Po from a Mayan city of human sacrifices. One of the all-time great pictures, The Sound of Music, is a 1965 American musical drama film produced and directed by Robert Wise. The film is a rare combination of an influential and moving story, excellent music, and magnificent scenery of Salzburg. This harmonious and joyous musical film tells the story of a young spirited Austrian woman who takes a job as governess to a large family while she decides whether to become a nun. She brings love and music into the lives of the family and falls in love with the children and their widowed father. The Green Mile is a 1999 American fantasy drama film written and directed by Frank Darabont. It stars Tom Hanks as a death row corrections officer who witnesses supernatural events that occur after an enigmatic giant inmate with a mysterious gift is brought to his facility. This suburban sad drama movie of 1999 is very absorbing and emotionally powerful. Forrest Gump is an American romantic thriller film directed by Robert Zemeckis. Released in 1994, it has stuck with the audiences for decades. The film unfolds through the perspective of an Alabama man with a below average IQ whose only desire is to be reunited with his childhood sweetheart Jenny. M. Night Shyamalan's American supernatural psychological thriller film The Sixth Sense is a twisty classical horror story. The film tells the story of a distinguished child psychologist and a frightened, confused 8-year-old boy. The Woman in Black is a 2012 supernatural British horror film. It is a story about heartbreak and revenge. The film follows a young widowed lawyer who travels to a remote village where he discovers that a vengeful ghost of a woman is seeking her vengeance. The Curse of La Llorona is a 2019 American supernatural horror film. The film follows a social worker who must save her children from an unkind spirit who is trying to steal her children. Broken Arrow is a 1996 American action thriller film starring John Travolta, Christian Slater, and Samantha Mathis. An American pilot steals nuclear warheads from the US military with the intent to extort money from the government, but his plans are complicated by his co pilot and a park ranger determined to recover the nuclear weapons. The Shawshank Redemption is a 1994 American drama film written and directed by Frank Darabont. It tells the story of a banker, Andy Dufresne, who is sentenced to 2 consecutive lifetimes in Shawshank State Prison for the murders of his wife and her lover. This outstanding film is all about time, patience, loyalty, friendship, and hope. Cellular is a 2004 American action thriller film. A carefree and irresponsible young man receives an emergency phone call on his cell phone from an older woman. The woman claims to have been kidnapped. With no knowledge of the woman, Ryan is quickly thrown into a world of deception and murder on his search to find and save her. Becky is a 2020 American action thriller film. Tough and stubborn teenager Becky is brought to a weekend getaway at a lake house by her father in an effort to try to reconnect. The trip immediately takes a turn for the worse when a gang of escaped neo-Nazi convicts on the run, led by the hard-hearted Dominic, suddenly invade the lake house. This grim and gruesome movie portrays how this precocious teen girl dispatches bad guys like a killer in a slasher movie. Step Up Revolution is a 2012 American dance film. Emily arrives in Miami with aspirations to become a professional dancer. She sparks with a young man, Shan, who leads a dance crew called the Mob. When Emily's father threatens to develop the Mob's historic neighborhood and displace thousands of people, the Mob turn their performance art into a protest art and risk losing their dreams to fight for a greater cause. Legally Blonde is a 2001 featherweight American comedy film. Elle Woods, a fashionable young woman, is dumped by her boyfriend. She decides to follow him to the prestigious Harvard Law School. While she is there, she realizes her potential and sets out to prove herself to the world. Gravity is a 2013 heart-pounding thriller science fiction film. It stars Sandra Bullock and George Clooney as American astronauts who are stranded in the terrifying expanse of space after the mid-orbit destruction of their space shuttle and attempt to return to Earth from an infinite and unforgiving realm of deep space. Polar Express is a 2004 American computer animated adventure film co-written and directed by Robert Zemeckis. The film tells the story of a young boy who, on a Christmas Eve, took a mysterious and magical train bound for the North Pole. The boy joins several other children as they embark on an adventure journey to visit Santa Claus. During their journey, they learn about friendship, bravery, and the spirit of Christmas. The Terminal is a 2004 American comedy drama film co-produced and directed by Steven Spielberg and starring Tom Hanks. This sweet and delicate comedy film is about an Eastern European tourist who becomes stuck in JFK airport when he is denied entry into the New York City and at the same time is unable to return to his native country because of a military coup. This inspirational movie gives you the spice of humor, love, affection, love for motherland, and definitely the importance of keeping promises. Kidnap is a 2017 American action thriller film. The film follows Carla Dyson, who relentlessly pursues the kidnappers after her 6-year-old son is abducted from a park. Blended is a 2014 American romantic comedy film. The story follows Jim and Lauren, two singles who went on a disastrous blind date together and never wanted to see each other again afterwards. To their surprise, they both end up at the same African luxurious safari resort with their children for a week and are forced to blend together. Air Force One is a 1997 American political action thriller film starring Harrison Ford. Communist radicals hijack Air Force One with the US President and his family on board. The Vice President negotiates from Washington, D.C., while the President, an ex member of the armed forces, fights to rescue the hostages on board. Jack and Jill is a 2011 American comedy film. The plot follows a family guy, Jack Saddlestein, whose life takes a turn when his annoying fraternal twin sister comes to visit for Thanksgiving and refuses to leave. The Punisher is a 2004 American action film starring Thomas Jane as Frank Castle and John Travolta as Howard Saint, a crime boss who slaughtered his entire family at a reunion. The film follows Castle surviving the attack and goes on a one-man revenge on Saint. Flight Plan is a 2005 psychological thriller mystery film. The film's narrative follows Kyle Pratt, a bereaved woman living in Berlin who flies back to the US with her daughter and her husband's body, only to lose her daughter during the flight, and nobody will admit she was ever on the plane. Gladiator is a 2000 British American historical epic film directed by Ridley Scott and starred Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe portrays Roman general Maximus Decimus Meridius, who is betrayed when Commodus, the cruel and corrupt son of Emperor Marcus Aurelius, murders his father and seizes the throne. Reduced to slavery, Maximus becomes a gladiator and rises through the ranks of the arena to avenge the corrupt emperor who murdered his family. 2012 is a 2009 American disaster film directed by Roland Emmerich. This groundbreaking movie with special effects portrays the heroic struggle of the novelist Jackson Curtis as he attempts to bring his family to safety as the world is destroyed by a series of extreme natural disasters.
These movies will help you a lot with your listening and speaking. With this, I hope I have convinced you that you can learn English with movies and have fun while doing it. Kindly subscribe and share this video. Thank you.